back with another video. No trades for the week of July the 20th to July 24th. The market just closed today. Today is Friday. It's 4:25. Markets did close at 2 p.m. But I will just explain why, no trades were taken this week, and on how maybe some were ready but just missed my entry or something. But yeah, I'm gonna just go over all the pairs that I was interested in for the week. First off, Euro JPY. I was looking for longs on this pair, but we never got the retest to our AOI, so it might be ready for next week. Euro AUD. We had the AOI retest, but I was just waiting for the 4-hour to shift bearish. We're at this point, we're just bullish and consolidating through here. It's going down now, so now I would have to wait for the 4 hours to go bearish at this point, and then have the retest on top, and maybe retest this 4-hour AOI right here, just around right there. This 4-hour AOI retest. Once the 4-hour goes bearish, comes back up, and then we look for entries, which might be ready next week. Who knows? AUD NZD, it's gonna be ready for next week. Gave us that AOI retest. I was hoping for it to come back up here, just to get that rejection from previous structure point, and also get that rejection from our psychological level, but it did not happen. So on this one, we would have to wait for the 4-hour to go bearish. So something like this, the best one could hope for is this one, and then shift here bearish, and then look for sales there. Let's see we're gonna see what's going to happen this week, basically. AUD JPY, no entry, didn't get that retest to our, actually yeah we did, actually no, yeah we need that AOI retest, hasn't give it to us. Still interested in this pair for this this upcoming week, but we're just missing the AOI retest. GBP USD longs, I was looking for longs. We were at this point, a beautiful rejection candlestick, rejecting EMA, rejecting previous structure point, and rejecting a heads and shoulders right here. But even though the 4-hour was bullish, I was waiting for like better price action. I think we're at this point right here, when I was already trying to look for entries once I got that retest on the 4-hour and the price action that I wanted, but I never got the entry on the lower time frames. I can show you guys. Okay, yeah, we did get the entry here, but for some reason, oh yeah, okay, yeah, so we were bearish on the 30-minute, gave us the entry there, but I don't take entries unless it gives the shift of structure first. So it never gave us the shift of structure. Once it came up here, it shifted bullish. I was waiting for another entry, but it just went straight down. Look at these beautiful heads and shoulders right here with that beautiful engulfing first beautiful, man. Woo! Should have been beautiful if it was first sales on this pair, but we're looking for longs, and it didn't work out. We're just missing our entry, but didn't give us our entry. This is why it's important to follow your plan. Doesn't matter how good the freaking entry looks, if you're missing one thing before the entry, you got to do that first. You got to look for that first, and then look for your entry. You just can't go to the last part. Moving on, CAD JPY. We were looking for longs, didn't get that AOI retest that we'd wanted. We can look for, we can still be interested on this pair. I can just move up this AOI up here, and we're just wait for that AOI retest right there. Maybe I'll tone it down up there. wait for that retest, maybe rejection of our EMA. Yeah, we're still interested in this pair for this upcoming week. NZD CAD shifted bearish on the daily time frame. We're looking for longs. I won't be interested in this pair anymore because on the weekly, you know, we are bullish. Since I'm still looking at the big bullish here, so I just don't like those type of pairs. You know, I've had trades in the past with this pair, and you know, they've all been losses. So the only way I'll be interested again on this pair is the daily goes bullish. Moving on, last pair, GBP NZD. I wanted the daily to go bullish for me to be interested. Never happened. The only reason why is because the weekly is rejecting, you know, weekly's AOI, rejecting previous structure point. Now it gave us a rejection candle, which is beautiful. You know, I will still have to wait for the daily to go bullish. Let's see if it'll happen this upcoming week. Maybe give us a big bullish engulfing. And then we just wait for that retest on the 4 hour. And we look for buys, but let's see what happens. You know, I'll still be interested in this pair, but that's pretty much it. And you know, I'm gonna start investing on some new mics and maybe a new camera, you know, where I can face myself and, you know, the computer, and just to share more stuff, you know, about my journey, where I'm at, you know, what I'm currently doing, and not just about trading. Even though I did say it's just strictly about trading, but you know, I want to share my life, share my journey, and you know, maybe share some motivation, some knowledge, whatever. But yeah, I will keep you guys updated this week. I mean, this upcoming week, whether I do trade or not. I will always post a video, you know, every week. But right now, this is where I'm at right now, and my current challenge on the 3rd attempt. You know, we're still at 98,000. You know, I started this challenge in July 7th. I think this month, right? June, July. Yeah, this month. So, yeah, like I said, I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure to always follow your plans. Stick to what you can control only. You know, focus on your plan and, you know, not just your mood. And, yeah. Thank you guys for watching.